Good evening, Ruskin enjoyers. So I'm actually about to have a yapping session. I'm actually going to talk about Christmas skins. There appears to be a pretty interesting opportunity to either pick them up for a cheaper price, obviously compared to December time, or more so, to potentially make a little bit of profit. So we're going to be talking about that, not Halloween. Doesn't hurt to probably get started around now. So by all means, if you just skip ahead, because I'm going to introduce Halloween still and whatnot, look in the description, all chapters are there, you get the idea. So let's get started. Week 1 of Halloween, and well, look at those skins. Ghost Furnace with over 56,000 subscribers. We're only 3 days in. We are only 3 days in, it's got that many subscribers. And just to clarify, subscriber count is the bare minimum sales. At least 56,508 individual people have bought that skin. Now, how many did they buy each? I have no idea. How many of those furnaces are we going to see in the Steam market afterwards? I worry. And on third-party sites as well. Anyway, a lovely selection of Halloween skins. Over 300 skins submitted for Halloween this year. We're still anticipating next week to see the Halloween Week 2 rush store, but after that, November 4 swipe. Now, unfortunately, with the November 4 swipe, we're not going to see the Naval update. However, it's being pushed to December instead. And the stars are kind of aligning at the moment where things are looking to be very, very interesting, all right? Oh, yes. Us, the Ruskin investors, we are anticipating things. But with this Halloween rush store, I did make a video discussing how with seasonal skins, so Easter, Halloween, Christmas, whilst they may appear and have lots of attention, what happens when the season comes and goes? What's going to happen to all the Halloween skins we currently have in the rush store once we're like in December time or February time or like April, June, when it's no longer Halloween? Unfortunately, we should expect all the prices to drop off. However, if you're smart enough and keep an eye on the prices, you could probably grab the skins at their cheapest price and hopefully in the future be able to sell them for a bit of a higher price as we anticipate potential collection continuations or actually see them. So the Pumpkin Armor collection is like a very good example of this. And recently we just saw Tooth Monster primitive skins being accepted, but it still caused the hoodie and pants to rise up in price ever so nice. Consider giving that a good watch, because it does apply to Christmas skins. So as I mentioned, the Naval update has been pushed by a month to December instead, but this is actually okay. I know some people might be a bit concerned. You might have been sitting there and saying, Hedge, I know the really big update loads of people were hoping for. It's been pushed back. You know what? I'm not going to complain. I do know for a fact that a lot of people weren't exactly super enthusiastic when they saw the boats, but I kind of get the feeling that when it's actually out and people like ride around in them, they'll probably enjoy it a whole lot more. It's probably going to be an iterative process. The boats are going to probably slowly improve as time goes on with all the other updates in the future. But anyway, there could have been a potential problem if it came out in November, because maybe after a month, people already fully figured it all out and got bored of it and they don't care about it anymore. But now that it's going to happen in December, don't forget, in many places around the world, about 3 weeks in, where kids are out of school, students are out of college, people aren't working as much. For a solid 2 weeks, people aren't working that much towards the end of December into the first week of January time. And that's usually where we see a lot of people playing Rust. I've said this many, many times. However, in regards to this now, if people were to get bored of this Naval update around November time, they probably wouldn't have been so enthusiastic around December time. However, for December now, you're going to see a lot of people turning up at the beginning of the month, and you're going to see a lot of people most likely enjoying themselves around Christmas time. And if there's lots of people playing, I think we might have a pretty interesting Christmas turnout. Also, imagine this. We're probably going to have Christmas boat bases. Christmas floats. Someone's got to do like a Santa's sleigh boat. Oh, that'd be cool. Okay, well, don't take my idea. Anyway, moving on. So I actually think this is actually going to work out very, very nicely. A strong start and a strong end, and then we roll into January 4 swipe. January 1st, 2025 is the 4 swipe. Bit ridiculous. Don't drink so much on New Year's Eve, Americans. Oh, you probably don't want to do that. But be up nice and early for the 4 swipe. Anyway, so things are actually lining up quite nicely. I'm not concerned. I hope you're not either, all right? So cool. We had a nice little discussion there. Who knows, we're going to see some absolutely ridiculous Christmas skins that might sell ridiculous amounts. So anyway, we'll see in regards to that. But yes, we still anticipate nice potential Christmas collection continuations. As I've already mentioned for Halloween, we've already seen some interesting ones. So technically speaking, you can sit here and say that this was a collection continuation. Actually, we only saw 2, 1 and 2. Well, next week we should probably anticipate more. what I'm saying is, with what we have right here, this was technically the the Halloween winners. I almost said Christmas there. With the next rush store, I'm expecting a whole lot more skins to be accepted, and that is where I expect to see all the collection continuations, all the interesting things. So cool. That's a nice thing to look forward to. But Hedge, you did talk about regards to like there's an opportunity. Well, by default, around September, October, November, we always talk about the autumn fall seasonal dip. October tends to be the point where we see most skins drop down to their lowest price of the year. But some interesting things have happened. And a great showcase of this is the Xenotype collection. You might notice that these prices are a little bit more lower than normal. In fact, when we saw the last skin being accepted, of course, that was the Metal Frags, wasn't it? Yep. The prices weren't too bad. What happened? Counter-Strike. Ta-da! Yeah. A big notable change happened in the Counter-Strike, and unfortunately, it kind of crashed the market. Basically, Valve decided to... they made it so that you can trade up to knives and gloves, which has kind of really killed off the interest in them. Well, it made a whole lot more of them available, basically, and the value of them dropped. And because they're the most sought after items, oh yeah, like 1 billion overnight has disappeared in the overall value of the Counter-Strike market. So point is, a lot of people have been cashing out. A lot of people have been chasing after these brand new knives and gloves. And some people have actually messaged me saying, Hedge, do you reckon a lot of people sold their valuable Rust skins so they just get more fun so they could chase after trying to get some nice valuable knives and gloves in Counter-Strike? I wouldn't say no to that. But at the very least, we should be quite happy that it actually happened in October. This was already supposed to be like a bad month. We were already expecting that price was going to be pretty bad. So it is what it is. If anything, you might sit there and say, Hedge, what is it doomed? Well, if anything, I actually mentioned this in the profit review video that you're going to see in a bit. In the past, we had the complete sets rush store. We did not see a Xenotype skin in that week, and people panicked, and prices dropped off immediately. But then the very next rush store, we saw the clothes Xenotype box being accepted. Everything recovered. I know times are looking pretty bad right now for the Xenotype collection, but November Force Wipe, we're expecting Xenotype wood, and if anything, over the course of this weekend, we might be seeing a few more interesting skins. Should point out November Force Wipe Hairmade LMG. Ooh. So there's still plenty of skins being submitted. We're seeing non-Halloween skins being submitted at the moment. So, okay, cool. Be optimistic. As I've already mentioned, what if we were to see another Xenotype skin being accepted? Could it all recover? Well, I certainly do hope so. Typically, with November, we start to see a nice bit of recovery for the skins. Like, we're past the worst of it. Now, we look forward to getting closer and closer to post-Christmas. Now, after Christmas time, Christmas money to spend, lots of time to play Rust. The stars align, everything's perfect. But typically around November time, we also start to notice Christmas skins, rising up in value. So basically, have you noticed that Christmas skins have actually gone down in price a little bit? Not all of them, but it is quite noticeable. So here's last year's skins, the Christmas skins we saw for 2024. We ended up with 3 weeks of Christmas, didn't we? Have you noticed that these have actually improved ever so nicely after the Easter period? So what tends to happen with Christmas skins, as we've already alluded to in the seasonal skins, as you can see here, basically, after Christmas, it's out of season, prices drop. And they tend to reach a very bad low point around March and April time. This is a routine thing that happens every single year. And then after that, people start anticipating Christmas again. Yep, that early. Yep. With their barders, they'll very likely pick up these skins for super cheap. And as time goes on, as we slowly get closer and closer and closer to Christmas time, you see these prices rise, and the Gingerbread Man is a perfect example. So this right here is the Gingerbread Man Rug. There you go. It took a while for that to work. There you go. And as you notice, only 30 listings, $1.58. As you look to the right, you'll see the prices have slowly started to build up. And as you look at his sales history, you'll notice, oh wow, that did drop off pretty badly. Now this hasn't really been badly affected with Counter-Strike, with Halloween. It's just been a nice slow recovery, most likely due to the fact that it didn't have that many listings. So cool. Dropped off real bad, reached a real bad low point around March time. Since then, it's just been slowly rising up in price, looking pretty sweet, but has it dropped off in very recent times? It looks like its momentum did stop for a bit. Chances are this very likely will recover in a bit, and then of course, as we go through November into December, that could go much higher. Look at the listings, very, very, very thin. So, To all you people out there who has still held on to their Christmas skins, well, typically every Christmas I always say, just stick with a barter, try and pick up as much as you can around March and April time, hold it out to the next Christmas, that's when you make your profit. And I've definitely made a video talking about that, and with the next Christmas skins we see for Christmas 2025, I'll say the exact same thing all over again. So I'm very nicely prepared for all of this, oh yes I am. So we've got some other Christmas skins we could take a look at. I'm currently on SCM.app. If you ever just want to go to the past real, nice and quickly, just go to the top right, time notch. You can easily navigate to previous years. I can easily go to Christmas 2023. Ta-da! So I'm looking around. We've got some very interesting skins. What if I were to go ahead and look at like a Gingerbread Bear Skin Rug? So let's go ahead and do that. So this is actually in the positive right now. Sold for $1.49 back in Christmas 2023. And, well, that's looking very nice and thin. Barter's looking pretty solid. In the past, this did rise up in price quite nicely. And so if we could just quickly show you that. There you go. So do you notice when Christmas happened? Do you? So, out of season after it was in the rush store, drops down to a very low point around March 2024. Oh, look, Christmas happens again. Wow. Oh, it's not Christmas anymore. But we're slowly getting closer and closer to Christmas again. But this is one of the instances where you notice that the prices are starting to, drop off a bit again. Halloween, Counter-Strike, it's kind of stopped the momentum for now. But then, of course, as we enter November, it will reinvigorate. The point I'm trying to get across is, if you missed out picking these skins up at their lowest around March time, April time, well, you could still probably jump in, hold it out for a little bit longer, maybe sell around the beginning of December. Oh, look at that, you've probably made a lovely bit of profit. Prices are down now, you could make a move. I wonder how the Garlands are doing. So with the problem with Christmas items, same thing kind of happens with Halloween items. Unfortunately, because they get brought back every year, so many people buy them again and again and again, and more and more of them appear in circulation, they tend to suffer. However, skins at a price cheaper than what they're listed, items, that are listed at a cheaper price on the Steam market compared to what they sell from the rush store, they tend to rise up. So right now this is only $4. In the past, well, it's been much, 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 much higher in anticipation to Christmas. As you can see here, December 2022. Ooh, last year, no, in 2023. But last year, it wasn't really that high. I think a lot of people have realised, oh, it tends to be a very nice thing to consider investing into. And when far too many people are investing into it, the prices don't really climb up that much. So I don't think you can look at the Garlands as a, insane, huge, mega crazy sort of investment again. But it still was a nice investment. If you grabbed some of these at about like $2.50, $3, well, you're probably happy at the moment. And this still hasn't reached December time. That could probably reach up to $5. Not a guarantee. It's a possibility. But then again, a lot of people did invest into these, and there's quite a lot of people there, just saying. So, yeah, if other people are invested into it, you should expect competition, and competition isn't fun. So, yes, items might not be the best way to go about it, but, skins are still very nice to approach. So, just take a look, especially the older skins. You can learn from the past and see if they actually rose up and whatnot. So, here you go, Santa's coat, a very nice jacket skin. We didn't see a collection continuation last year, but with its, very nice general design, people still appreciate. So if you can just scroll back to the past, what do we see? Drops off a fair bit, goes all the way down to about 40 cents American, March 2024 time. It rose all the way up to $1. $1 around December last year. So wasn't a huge gain, but it's still profit. It looks like it's trending upwards once again. Right now, as you can see, it's sitting here at 90 cents. What do you reckon? Could it surpass last year? I wouldn't say no, but could it even get that much further? I mean, we're going to have to wait and find out, aren't we? So, okay, that's nice. Let's go back to last year. The more recent Christmas skins tend to be quite cheaper, a whole lot more approachable. So let's go to week 2, 2024. And you may recall we had some very cool, very interesting designs. Brass Christmas sheet metal double door. I've said this quite a lot. Sheet metal double doors tend to be very, very reliable unless they came out for a holiday. Halloween, Easter, Christmas. This did suffer, but it's on the road to recovery. In fact, it's already in the positive. Hardly any listings, barter's building up. Look how it was early this year. Oh. So this was last year's sheet metal double door, and that went all the way down. God, you were like $1.50 at one point. Well, it's not anymore. Oh, it's much better. And again, this isn't its peak. It very likely could go much higher. Higher. I don't know. But how far will it go? Still going to figure it out. Is it looking like the best potential thing to jump onto? Well, it's already doubled in price. But things do look pretty interesting. If we're expecting a lot of people to turn up for the Naval update for the beginning of December, and we're also expecting a Twitch Rivals event in December as well, And then time off in December with Christmas time. Things are looking pretty sweet. Yeah, so what are your thoughts? Go for the comment below. But I also just want to mention some other things like Snowman Backpack. A pretty goofy design that came out last year, but don't forget last year we did see free Christmas backpacks, so it wasn't exactly the best time for these. But if you actually go ahead and look at this right now, you'll realise that it's actually improved. So it did go down pretty sharply. We only have 46 listings, very thin. Barders are looking pretty okay. But if we could just see this for ourselves, it has started to go down in price. It got affected by Halloween. It got affected by the Counter-Strike crash. So perhaps we can start to expect it to rise back up again. Again, November, as we get closer and closer to December time, you should expect the balance to happen. So the moral of the story is, if you want Christmas skins to make your base look nice and pretty for Christmas 2025, you might want to look around and make those purchases now. And if you time it right, you'll probably be able to sell them, maybe like literally on Christmas Day, grab some profit whilst you're there, and then you'll just be happy. But yes, this initially went all the way down to like $1. Back in August, when a lot of skins rose in price and reached some brand new peak prices, this actually went to $2, but now it's down to what, like $1.40. But there's not that many, and it could very likely recover considering it's very, very thin. So just because we had a blip doesn't mean we can't recover. And then again, you also have to consider, could we see some interesting collection continuations? You're going to look at me in a very silly way, but I'll show off. So with this last year, I did question, after this got 30,000 subscribers, do the Rust players want to have a Christmas anime gale door? Evidently yes, because it sold a lot, and right now, oh look, there's only 30 listings. Oh, and it's at $2.22. Oh, and it's very thin. Could we see a sequel? What do you reckon? And also, you know, is it even in the head of the skin creator? Did anybody ask? Well, actually went ahead and did it earlier, so yeah. Have you Rust players been good this year to deserve a sheet metal double door? You could have two. You could have two anime girls this year, or a garage door, or a wooden double door. Doesn't matter. So as long as you see a collection continuation, oh, that could rise up even more so. But, well, actually, I should have looked at it properly. On the Steam market, you'll notice this has been recovering ever so nicely. But last year, well, early this year, it got as low as less than $1. But since then, it's been rising, 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 rising. This hasn't been affected by the recent crash from Counter-Strike and whatnot. So, like I said, not every skin has stumbled, stagnated, suffered. But there's lots of potential interesting opportunities to look for. But you very likely have missed out for the best time. So always remember this. In regards to Christmas skins, keep an eye out around March and April time. Jump in, hold, wait. Ta-da! So, yeah. Already profitable almost. But it could easily rise up even higher. I have about 100 of these. I've given away some of them on my streams and whatnot. So, you know, you just got to learn from this. But whilst you might have missed out for the cheapest prices, you could still probably get involved and still see some nice reasonable profits if you could expect these to rise up even higher. And as I said, a lot of people are expected to turn up for the beginning of December, Twitch rivals, Twitch drops, Christmas time off, Christmas, collection continuations possibly, we'll see. But yeah, stars are aligning, interesting things are turning. It's interesting. I lost my tongue there, but didn't know what to say. But yeah, looking pretty sweet. So start looking around. Look at previous Christmas skins. Learn from their, you know, history. See if they bounce up. Like skins from two years ago at the very least, you can learn from, like we did with the jacket, and of course, like we did with the I already forgot what we looked at. Sorry about this. Let me just quickly go back over to here. Like we saw with the rug here. Yeah. Learn from how they performed during Christmas 2024. We'll go even further back. Let's go to Christmas 2022. What do we see here? Okay then, so we've got some interesting looking skins. I think I want to go ahead and look at this garage door. Now, we've got quite a lot of garage doors recently, haven't we? But has this ever perked up? Has it been super cheap before? Let's go find out. So, over to here. Oh, okay, well. Clearly some things have happened in the past. When this first came out in Christmas 2022, the second it wasn't Christmas anymore, drops off, reaches a low point around March, about $1. But, you know, with anticipation for next Christmas, rises all the way up to about $3. Then, of course, Christmas out season again, drops off again, less than $1. Last year's Christmas rose all the way up to about almost $2, drops off again. It's only starting to rumble and potentially, you know, get some interest. As I said, it's getting close to Christmas. Maybe it might not be that very high, but it still looks like it could be a profit. Is that interesting to you? Maybe you might find things that are more interesting. but it doesn't hurt to diversify. Don't go all in one, don't go all in on just one skin. If you've got the funds, spread it around, see what you can get, all right? Perhaps some skins may suffer, perhaps some skins may flourish. Who knows? But the more diversified you are, the whole lot better you're going to be, all right? So just look around, learn, see what you can do. Again, there's many Christmases to learn from. Like, let's see what else we got here. This one's a bit quiet. Let's go back even further. Let's go to 2021. Right, 2021. Oh, look. Okay, Yeti hoodie and pants. I would have shown you, but like people like to use you as a very budget whiteout option, so I'll put you aside. Okay, we've got Snowman Furnace. A very befitting Christmas design. A very nice, very happy little design there. Yep, so 41 listings. Barter's looking pretty okay. How have you been for the previous Christmases? And, oh, well, there you go. It's been a bit funny, but yeah, drops off, rises up quite nicely for Christmas 2022. Drops off, rises up reasonably for Christmas 2023. It drops off much lower, rises up to a point. I mean, it's much better than where it was for Christmas 2024. But it's already matched up to 2024. Well, rather, it did around August time, dropped off, rose back up again. Could it go even higher? With the position that it's in right now, could it go up even higher? That's for you to consider, right? So learn from the past, see how it's been before, you get the idea. Cool. So, yeah, a very, very interesting position to be in, but still got another week of Halloween yet. Will the prices increase that much more? I mean, we'll see. But yes, you probably want to get in earlier now if you want to have some nice Christmas skins. Chances are you already have a whole bunch of Christmas skins. Smart. Good job. But if you actually wanted to get a nice Christmassy base and you don't have everything ready yet, now's probably the time, all right? Just giving you a warning ahead of time. And to the investors, an interesting insight, okay? So typically, the end of November, early December, that's where we tend to see a lot of Christmas skins reach a new nice high point. But if they do see a collection continuation, oh, even better, right? So that's it. That's a wrap. Okay, well then, what Halloween skins are you expecting to be accepted in week 2 of Halloween 2025? There's plenty to choose from, but what will Face Punch choose? And how many skins will they be accepting? I'm still expecting 20. And of course, do not forget, with this current rush store, with the Halloween skins you can see here, the abnormal barders, they are Wednesday night. So we have plenty of skins here that are abnormal, except the boots and the rock. But don't forget, we also happen to have the, where are they? Okay, let's go over to here then. We also happen to have the wallpaper paint. I almost called them paints. The wallpapers, sorry. Oh, I should stop, but you get the point. We've got these to chase after, and if you haven't noticed, some of these happen to glow in the dark, some of these are animated. These are the Halloween wallpapers, and a lot of people seem to like them quite a lot. I should also point out that we are expecting Christmas wallpapers, ceiling papers, floor papers, wallpapers. Some of them may glow in the dark, some of them might be animated. We shall see, but we're expecting it. And I should remind you, whilst we haven't seen any mentions for quite some time, there was a mention of a Christmas sled. Some sort of new sled, perhaps. We'll see. But we're only getting closer and closer now. The stars are aligning. Things are looking interesting. And we'll see how it all turns out. But whilst I'm here, how many of you have struggled with this? I have no idea what's going to happen next. But chances are we're not going to see the knives and the gloves recover all the way back up to the prices they were. We never know. Maybe it'll take about 5 years. We'll see. But, oh, why? Why? I haven't suffered that badly. I'm mostly invested into cases, but let me tell you, the cases have even suffered, haven't they? Yeah. So let us be happy that we don't have like super rare items and skins like knives and gloves and rust. It's quite helpful. Stops us from stressing out. So okay, cool. The opportunity for profit is there. We'll see if it works out nicely. Best of luck to each and every single one of you. Sorry for me stumbling and whatnot. I do it quite a lot, but only at the end for this one, so it's all good. And we'll see how it all turns out. Now, one thing I forgot to mention, for the people looking out for all the Christmas skins, you've got to remember like several keywords. So obviously, you can type in Christmas. Ta-da! Yep, you get quite a lot of Christmas themed skins, but that's not all of them. So for some of them, you're going to have to type in Santa, like we did with the jacket just a little bit earlier. Yep, there you go. So there's a lot of Santa themed skins. There's pages of it. Very nice, very cool. But then you've also got to consider like gingerbread. You don't have to have gingerbread, but don't forget you get the gingerbread building skin for absolutely free when it's Christmas time. So just saying, there's lots of things that can pair up very nicely with it. Choice is up to you. But then again, we also happen to have some other things that are a little bit more discreet. So you've got snow, You've got some snow themed skins. Not all of them are quite literally like to do with it, but maybe you're going to want to roam around in the snowy biome when it's Christmas time. Choice is up to you. Now, we also happen to have like gift skins. Yep. Lots of Christmas themed skins right here. You probably don't need Grandma's gift, barricade, but anyway, it's up to you. Now, I could also mention festive. We do have some festive name skins. Yep, you've got some very interesting things here and here. Festive costume isn't Christmas. It's more like a piñata. But yeah, what else do we have? Fairy Tale is one of them. It is a Christmas themed skin. It's just like there's only two. I guess you could also mention Rasmus, which I'll show you. I'll show that to you in a second. But yes, keep an eye on these skins. Keep an eye out for the usual suspects. Christmas gang hoodie and pants, always desirable, but they've already risen up to $2 already. Only 44 listings, by the way. So yep, always nice things that always routinely bounce back up again once we get closer and closer to Christmas. In fact, just look at it yourself. So over to here, as you'll see, accepted many years ago, this pair of pants keeps rising up to a brand new all-time price. Could it happen again this year? Well, we'll have to wait and see. And then, yep, last year we happened to see a very nice, much more affordable budget alternative. So with the Christmas week one, we saw Frozen Santa hoodie and pants. But remember this, we mentioned it in this video right over to here. The main thing in regards to clothing and armor is, will we see a collection continuation next year? I did allude to that already, but what happens with all of these seasonal skins after they leave the rust store and then again once it's out of season? Well, we said it many, many times, they go down cheap. So as you'll see over to here, in anticipation to next Christmas, it's starting to rise quite nicely, but this did get cheap and it went down to about $1. Now, right now, it's currently sitting here at $1.70. It's improving. It's doing better. There's only 27 listings. Pants, not so much, but not too bad. Only 39 listings. It's 82 cents right now. Sorry, I lost my tongue there. But yes, not as good compared to the hoodie. But yeah, not too bad either. That looks like it's starting to trend downwards. Not sure why. Might be a good alternative option if you don't want to spend quite a lot on the Christmas gang set. And as I mentioned, Rasmus is also another like special keyword you can consider. Do you want to have a nice little Rasmus PJ sweater? Pants are quite cheap, to be honest with you. Totally up to you. And, you could also consider Rasmus rug. Although I will say like 2 years ago, we talked about this. At one point, it got real pricey. So we, talked about investing it into the next year, and it didn't work out very nicely the next year, did it? So I can't remember what years that was, but it was definitely in the past. So rose up very nicely, like 1 year, and then I think we talked about it after. So was it last year we talked about it? Yeah, it didn't go up in price that much. So it's totally up to you, but you can clearly see it's still going up in price quite nicely in the past. So lots of keywords to remember, and it's not too hard to go back to the past. Even on rusthelp.com, you can look for the slider, just drag along, go back to previous Christmases. It's not too hard by dragging along. There you go. Now I'm at Christmas 2023. Ta-da! And then you can easily move to the next. And there you go, week 2, week 3, you get the idea. So typically, it's mostly Christmas clothing and armor pieces and deplorables. Weapons don't really tend to work out very nicely, unfortunately. So if you wanted, oh, Hedge, why haven't you talked about weapons and tools? Guns, people don't really care about. Hammers, jackhammers, we tend to see quite a lot of them. They tend to work out quite all right. So, it's up to you. So consider learning from the past. Prepare. End of October, great time to jump in and do it. Now all you got to do is wait another month or so, and you're nice and ready. So all is good. So best of luck to each and every single one of you. Have fun. Look forward to the end of the year, and look forward to that sweet, delicious profit. Post-Christmas prices tend to be the absolute best. I'm looking forward to it. I've informed you more than enough. Now you've got to put the effort in to prepare for it.